So I didn't know if this vlog thing was gonna work out. It looks like it's going to. So welcome to my second vlog. The first one is in Australia that was actually shot several months ago, but it's come together, I think, really beautifully. Thank you, Sarah and Max, who did the filming and editing. So since the last vlog, Max and I tried to leave Australia to go to Sweden. We couldn't because Sweden's testing timeline was like impossible to fulfill when you're flying from Australia because they have to have the test within 48 hours, but it takes 24 hours to get the result, and then it takes more than 24 hours to get to Sweden from Australia, so we literally could not fulfill that impossible problem. So we were bounced back into Australia. We went down to Tasmania, which was like amazing. And then from there, Max went back up into Queensland and I flew to Sydney to get tested again to fly to USA. And then I spent a week in Houston with my family and then met up with Max in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. Hung out in Cabo for about a week, and then we're now down here in Costa Rica and we are at El Lugar. My new safari tour guide shirt for El Lugar. So we're spending several days here and it's been so much fun. We're having a private house built and you guys are gonna get to see that. Being here in El Lugar right now is really special because like literally they're like all of the roads have been put in, all of the underground work, so the sewer and the electrical and stuff has been put in, but it doesn't look like a construction zone. It just literally looks like a beautiful green property. And we went out and visited the forestation part of the property and you guys are gonna get to see a ton of that in this vlog. You're gonna get to see where me and Max's house is gonna go, podcast with David Caddy, David Kubis, and Claudia. And this is happening. This is this beautiful place. The place is coming together. Really special to get to be here. Years ago, like maybe 10 or 11, the whole like idea of El Lugar was just an idea, and my dad really had this vision for building this place where people could be with nature but also like be at peace and have access to more consciousness and sort of like feel the kind of kindness that heals a lot of stuff. And so I remember sitting at this table at lunch. We were somewhere in Italy and it was literally when this conceived, and I really committed to it. It took me some years to be able to financially commit to it, but I did, and I've been like financially and energetically investing in, contributing to, committed to, not necessarily this project on the ground at El Lugar here in Costa Rica, but the awareness of possibility and like what this can be on Earth. And it's incredible how like El Lugar taught me about gifting and receiving. Like I didn't think I could be a gift, and I felt that I didn't have anything to gift or give. And then as soon as I had some money, I like did gift it and didn't have any expectation because none of us had any idea how this would show up. And I just kept on choosing, and it was incredible. Like once I gifted that initial money, actually, my income started like booming. And this has been years of this gifting and then watching how my receiving increases. Just coming down here is actually like the first time we're picking out the plot where our personal house is gonna go. So this is like getting way more real, and it's also the first time that I've ever flown private. So literally coming down here to El Lugar to pick out the spot where our house is gonna go is this massive graduation into a whole new level of choosing and having and creating for me, like that I never thought would be possible, and I owe it to the magic that El Lugar is showing me for sure. So let me show you El Lugar. I'm so excited, you guys. We have a super special podcast coming from you from literally the construction at the property at El Lugar in Costa Rica. And today we're going to talk about the creation of this incredible resource, which has been fully funded by the Economy of Consciousness, called El Lugar, the place. And I'm joined today by the three amazing wizards who are on the ground making this magic happen for all of us every day. I'm here with Claudia.
Hi.
David Caddy.
Hi.
And David Kubis.
Hello.
So David Caddy, when you look at building, what is it that you're aware of as possible here?
Well, the building has to fit on the land, has to fit in the climate. So many times we've gone around the property and it's all these little casitas and we've changed where they go and what the views are out of the window. So I guess I look at the building as part of the environment. So I want people, when they come, to let nature be an experience for them.
Philosophy of this project is essentially rooted in all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory.
Exactly.
So that's the forerunner. So Claudia, you were actually the person who found this property. How did that happen?
The property found me.
Okay.
I was looking all over Costa Rica to get a property. I was almost in my way out of Costa Rica with someone that we knew before from one of the resorts we were. Called me and said, I know you're looking for a place in Costa Rica, but I didn't even tell that person I was looking for something.
Right.
He just called me and he said, well, do you want to go and check it out today? I was heading to the airport. My flight was like soon.
Right.
So I said, okay. I was pretty close to the property. So I came to the property and it was super close to another one that I already checked. So I was like, oh, maybe it's the one I saw before. And then we turned before getting to that one. And I was like, oh, this is different. Oh, this is nice. And the minute I opened the door and stepped into the land, the only thing that came to my head was, I'm home.
El Lugar is a resort in the rainforest of Costa Rica based on the vision of the philosophy that mankind is guest on planet Earth and should treat nature with respect and kindly. And it has the idea of showing the world that you can be that in construction. When we treat the planet kindly, when we are building a profitable resort, inviting guests to a space where the kindness of nature was and is priority number one.
El Lugar is magic. Everything is possible, and when you actually allow yourself to be part of nature and the world, then you just coexist together, work together, create.
Being and living in communion with nature.
It's timeless. How can we create a space where time doesn't exist and anything's possible? Once you started planting plantains down here, the idea I think is that we create a food source for some animals too, and birds. So it's never fast enough to plants. I always tell Claudia, more plants, more plants.
So right now we are currently taking the ATVs out to see the reforestation plots on the property at El Lugar. So we're going to show you guys what the areas that are being reforested, what that looks like right now, give you guys some information on how long it's going to take for those trees to get super big. So awesome being out here today. So right now we're walking through the first phase of forestation that was actually planted like 15 years ago. So these trees were put in by the previous owner based on a Costa Rican reforestation grant. So these are 15 years old, and we've then started planting our baby trees around this grove.
Esto es una parte de los sueños que tenemos en el lugar, de cooperar realmente con el ambiente. Es uno de los trabajos más lindos y de los mejores proyectos que hay, de reforestar y recuperar todas aquellas zonas que se encuentran un poquito descuidadas. Entonces, acá nos dedicamos a recuperar los árboles para tener bastante oxígeno y tener una fauna mucho mejor.
So the trees over there, the ones that don't have any leaves or anything hanging on them, they are actually houses for the macaws, the parrots, and all that bird family.
You see that hole at the top? There's like 10 of those holes for parrots. What other kind of birds do the nesting in here? Loras. So these dead trees become apartment buildings for the birds.
But the interesting part is that the tree is dead.
Right.
When the tree dies, then the
Woodpecker.
woodpecker, that one, starts making holes to get the worms
Right.
in the tree. And when the hole is ready, then the parrots
Other birds
come
move in.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Over there where there's more trees, it's the river. And the river is the border with our neighbors, International Organization for Wildlife. So what they do is they observe the wildlife in Braulio Carrillo National Park. That is part of the Costa Rican Natural Corridor. And that's that way. And they're our neighbors too. So with our neighbors and the hectares over there, we release an ocelot in that border, and we're in chats with an organization that rescues wildlife and with the government, and every time they have a creature that needs to be released, we're gonna get it and release it over there.
So you can see over here is where the original or previous owner of this land started a Costa Rican government grant reforestation plantation. That is the jungle that lines the river. And then here is where Forest for Futures trees have been planted. And here's more of the original Costa Rican forestry grant plantation. All of these trees will stay up, and we are filling in with more natural species. So the reason why the forest that we're starting here has about 3 species of these trees is because they need to grow to maturity to create some shade canopy to be able to reintroduce the other varieties. And then essentially the target is within 15 years, this area is going to return to the jungle like that area.
Sydney Harbour. I had it above the water and then it just fully just did its own thing. It just went.
Yeah, and we like watched it sink into the harbor.
Nothing you can do. You can only watch it and be like, there goes $2,000.
So what are you filming right now, babe?
So you want to see it? Well, this is a view of the reforestation section, one of them, and this is the drone just getting a high up area.
How the Costa Ricans reforest. They make
By fencing.
they make the fences out of tree stumps and then they grow to be trees. We're coming to the highest point of the whole El Lugar property in a second. So just like a little bit more on the El Lugar project, it was really a vision that my dad had. He's been coming and doing big conferences and events here in Costa Rica for quite a long time, for many years, many decades actually. And so he was like, why don't we create our own property? And it's so exciting that it's starting to be created. I can't wait for the access events and stuff that get to take place here and to show you guys all the beauty. There's so much going on here. That's been put up, Barrio 1. So those houses are about halfway complete. Stuff's just coming up super quick now. All of the sewerage and services have been put in underground. A lot of the pathways are in. The roads are in. This is where our house is gonna be. And we chose it because it is super peaceful over here. And it faces the trees. You get to hear the trees a lot, and there's like a river just there. And so Ryan T's house is gonna be right there. All you Chinese babes know who Ryan is. And then you can see over across that mound, sort of those wooden postings, that's Dane's house. And then beyond that is my dad's house. And then you see more houses over on this side. So you can start to get a sense, like there's going to be a lot of habitations and a lot of private houses, but then a lot of also hotel accommodation. And our house will be our private house when we're here, and then it'll be part of the hotel when we're not here. And how's it get better? Come on. All the houses on the property are going to be similar in vibe, but actually totally unique interior and exteriors. So not one house or building will be the same as another. So this is going to be the front door. And so you enter through here, and the house will be designed to take advantage of the forest through every window. Good morning. We stayed in San Jose, Costa Rica last night at the Marriott, which is a very nice hotel, by the way. If you ever come to San Jose, you can stay at the Marriott Hacienda. It's pretty close to the airport. And today we're leaving Costa Rica and we are flying to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico for a bunch of Access classes. There's gonna be global bars there, and then my dad and Dane are doing the Access Global Foundation class for 4 days, and then me and my sister are doing a facelift class, like literally the day after, and then Dane is doing Choice and Possibilities class, so it's gonna be this marathon. We are flying private today, and I can't wait to show you guys that. Since traveling has gotten more stressful, I really made a huge choice to check out private flying, and it's a lot more expensive, but it is so amazing. As soon as you get there, they're ready to go, and you hop on the plane and you go direct, and it's like so much easier, so much faster, so much less energy intensive. So show you guys. private charter. So the first one was from Cabo San Lucas down here to San Jose, and it was like magic. They didn't even check our passports. There was like no security check. It was super easy doing that. This experience was slightly less easy, so it has to get better, but we're in our plane. We have to do a customs check in like some random place in Mexico, so we actually have to stop before we land in Puerto Vallarta. We'll see how that goes. Anyways, we're gonna end the vlog here. See you guys in Mexico for Access Extravaganza. Bye!